Orthodox Hinduism is famous for environments like this: towering architecture, strict vegetarian offerings, and a serene central sanctum where the divine resides in absolute purity. Step away from those grand centers and head to the dusty outskirts of a rural village in Tamil Nadu, and the atmosphere shifts. Here, the guardian is Karuppaswamy. He is dark-skinned, wears a thick mustache, rides a white horse, and carries a massive, intimidating machete called an araval. Devotees don't bring him flowers and milk. They offer lit cigars, raw alcohol, and animal sacrifices. The priests guiding these rituals aren't Orthodox Brahmins, but locals who frequently channel the deity through intense physical trances. These anomalies define a kaval deivam, or guardian deity. He operates outside the polite rules of the center because his specific job is to violently defend the vulnerable boundaries of the community. You might expect a folk deity like this to stay permanently isolated in the villages. His influence actually reaches straight into the elite Orthodox Ajagar temple in Madurai. The main towering front doors of this massive temple are slammed shut. They remain locked year-round, permanently guarded by a shrine to Karuppaswamy himself. Why does one of the most prominent classical temples in southern India lock its main gates to honor a machete-wielding folk warrior? The answer lies thousands of years in the past, during the ancient Tamil Sangam era. This was a time long before mainstream Vedic practices dominated the region. Dravidian culture honored local martyrs and fallen warriors by erecting Veeran, or hero stones. They believed the spirits of these brave men lingered to protect the living. Mainstream deities are typically viewed as cosmic and eternal, descending from the heavens to interact with humanity. Because Karuppaswamy stems from this tradition of human sacrifice and collective historical memory, he remains tethered to the earthly plane. He is a god born of the soil, making him instantly accessible to the common people who need him. That accessibility is exactly what the Alagar temple needed. According to local scripture, 18 black magicians once attempted to infiltrate the temple to steal its sacred idol. Malayala Karuppu, a fierce local guardian, awoke from a trance just in time to intercept them, neutralizing the threat with swift, brutal force. Today, the famous 18 steps leading up to his locked shrine, the Patina Tampati, are said to mark the exact burial site of those fallen magicians. Even now, in a nightly ritual, the keys to the temple are ceremonially placed before Karuppaswamy's shrine. By absorbing this local legend, Orthodox Hinduism formally integrated a folk hero. A localized warrior was elevated into an indispensable divine enforcer of justice. This animated map visualizes the massive oceanic migration routes during the colonial era, stretching from the ports of South India to Caribbean shores. The British Empire moved hundreds of thousands of Indian workers across the globe, displacing communities to work in remote, grueling conditions. The laborers arriving in these fields lacked the wealth or materials to construct massive Orthodox stone temples. Instead, they relied on the fierce, portable folk deity they already knew. In this foreign landscape, Karuppaswamy functioned as the front-line defense for the laborers' heritage, shielding the identity of a displaced people as fiercely as he once patrolled the village edge. On these islands, his worship took on new names, like D Baba and Sangani Baba. Because the indentured laborers lived alongside African and indigenous Caribbean populations, their spiritual practices naturally intertwined. The rituals adapted. Devotees began incorporating local herbs, new drum beats, and Caribbean rum, merging disparate traditions into a unified system of folk protection. From the hills of Madurai to the sugar fields of the Caribbean, Karuppaswamy remains stationed at the gate. He is proof that the most resilient spiritual forces aren't found in the silent center of a temple. They are out here, adapting and fighting wherever the community meets the unknown.